The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations is an agency of the United Nations that leads international efforts to defeat hunger, serving both developed and developing countries. FAO acts as a neutral forum where all nations meet as equals to negotiate agreements and debate policy. FAO is also a source of knowledge and information, and helps developing countries and countries in transition modernize and improve agriculture, forestry and fisheries practices, ensuring good nutrition and food security for all. Its Latin motto, Fiat Panis, translates as, "Let there be bread." As of the 8th of August 2013, update, FAO has 194 member states, along with the European Union, and the Faroe Islands and Tokelau, which are associate members. History. The idea of an international organization for food and agriculture emerged in the late 19th and early 20th century, advanced primarily by the U.S. agriculturalist and activist David Luban. In May-June 1905, an international conference was held in Rome, Italy, which led to the creation of the International Institute of Agriculture. Later in 1943, the United States President Franklin D. Roosevelt called a United Nations Conference on Food and Agriculture. Representatives from 44 governments gathered at the Homestead Resort in Hot Springs, Virginia from the 18th of May to the 3rd of June. They committed themselves to founding a permanent organization for food and agriculture, which happened in Quebec City, Canada on the 16th of October 1945 with the conclusion of the constitution of the Food and Agriculture Organization. The first session of the FAO conference was held in the Château Frontenac at Quebec, Canada, from the 16th of October to the 1st of November 1945. The Second World War effectively ended the International Agricultural Institute, though it was only officially dissolved by resolution of its Permanent Committee on the 27th of February 1948. Its functions were then transferred to the recently established FAO, Structure and Finance. FAO was established on the 16th of October 1945, in Quebec City, Quebec, Canada. In 1951, its headquarters were moved from Washington, D.C., United States, to Rome, Italy. The agency is directed by the Conference of Member Nations, which meets every 2 years to review the work carried out by the organization and to approve a program of work and budget for the next 2-year period. The conference elects a council of 49 member states that acts as an interim governing body, and the Director General, that heads the agency. FAO is composed of 7 departments: Administration and Finance, Agriculture and Consumer Protection, Economic and Social Development, Fisheries and Aquaculture, Forestry, Natural Resource Management and Environment, and Technical Cooperation. Beginning in 1994, FAO underwent the most significant restructuring since its founding, to decentralize operations, streamline procedures and reduce costs. As a result, savings of about $50 million, €35 million a year were realized. Budget. FAO's regular program budget is funded by its members, through contributions set at the FAO conference. This budget covers core technical work, cooperation and partnerships including the Technical Cooperation Program, knowledge exchange, policy and advocacy, direction and administration, governance and security. The FAO regular budget for 2012-2013 biennium is $1,005.6 million. The voluntary contributions provided by members and other partners support mechanical and emergency assistance to governments for clearly defined purposes linked to the results framework, as well as direct support to FAO's core work. The voluntary contributions are expected to reach approximately $1.4 billion in 2012-2013. This overall budget covers core technical work, cooperation and partnerships, leading to food and agriculture outcomes at 71%, core functions at 11%, the country office network 5%, capital and security expenditure 2%, administration 6%, and technical and cooperation program 5%. Directors General Deputy Directors General William Nobel Clark, 1948. Sir Herbert Broadley, 1948 to 1958. Friedrich Trauerwahlen, 1958–1959. Norman C. Wright, 1959 to 1963. Orris V. Wells, 1963 to 1971. Roy I. Jackson, 1971 to 1978. Ralph W. Phillips, 1978 to 1981. Edward M. West, 1981 to 1985. Declan J. Walton, 1986–1987. Howard Hjort, 1992 to 1997. Vikram J. Shah, 1992 to 1995. David A. Harch-Eric, 1998 to 2007. James G. Butler, 2008 to 2010. Chang Chui He, 2009 to 2011. and Tutwiler, 2011–2012. Manoj Junja, 2011–2012. Dan Gustafson, 2012–2013. Maria Helena M.Q. Semedo, 2013–present. Offices. World Headquarters. The world headquarters are located in Rome, in the former seat of the Department of Italian East Africa. One of the most notable features of the building was the Axum obelisk, which stood in front of the agency seat, although just outside the territory allocated to FAO by the Italian government. It was taken from Ethiopia by Benito Mussolini's troops in 1937 as a war chest, and returned on 18 April 2005. Regional offices. Regional Office for Africa, in Accra, Ghana. Regional Office for Asia and the Pacific, in Bangkok, Thailand. Regional Office for Europe and Central Asia, in Budapest, Hungary. Regional Office for Latin America and the Caribbean, in Santiago, Chile. Regional Office for the Near East, in Cairo, Egypt. Sub-regional offices. Sub-regional Office for Central Africa, in Libreville, Gabon. Sub-regional Office for Central America, in Panama City, Panama. Sub-regional Office for Central and Eastern Europe, in Budapest, Hungary. Sub-regional Office for Central Asia, in Ankara, Turkey. Sub-regional Office for Eastern Africa, in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Sub-regional Office for North Africa, in Tunis, Tunisia. Sub-regional Office for Southern Africa and East Africa, in Harare, Zimbabwe. Sub-regional Office for the Caribbean, in Bridgetown, Barbados. Sub-regional Office for the Pacific Islands, in Apia, Samoa. Sub-regional Office for Western Africa, in Accra, Ghana. Liaison Offices. Liaison Office for North America, in Washington, D.C. Liaison Office with Japan, in Yokohama. Liaison Office with the European Union and Belgium, in Brussels. Liaison Office with the United Nations, in Geneva. Liaison Office with the United Nations, in New York. Priority work areas. For the coming biennium, 2014–2015, FAO has outlined the following priorities in its fight against hunger. Help eliminate hunger. Food insecurity and malnutrition. Contribute to the eradication of hunger by facilitating policies and political commitments to support food security and by making sure that up-to-date information about hunger and nutrition challenges and solutions is available and accessible. Make agriculture, forestry and fisheries more productive and sustainable. Promote evidence-based policies and practices to support highly productive agricultural sectors, while ensuring that the natural resource base does not suffer in the process. reduce rural poverty, help the rural poor gain access to the resources and services they need, including rural employment and social protection, to forge a path out of poverty, enable inclusive and efficient agricultural and food systems, help to build safe and efficient food systems that support smallholder agriculture and reduce poverty and hunger in rural areas, increase the resilience of livelihoods from disasters, help countries to prepare for natural and human-caused disasters by reducing their risk and enhancing the resilience of their food and agricultural systems.